Good morning, heart and soul. So I have the absolute pleasure of introducing you to my dear friend, Reverend Marquita Pierre McAlister. Before I do that, though, allow me to make a plea and put in a little correction. So it is true, I am very excited that I have a new book out. Thank you. From the Inside Out, a continuing spiritual evolution, emphasis on continuing spiritual evolution. And here's the thing, we are working, Blanche Richardson of Marcus Books is working to get the book. Now, I know you could get it right now. I'm just going to ask, that is, you could order it right now elsewhere. And the elsewhere will go nameless. My plea is that you get it from Marcus Books. It will mean some patience, but look, I'm exercising it as well. So I don't have it yet. So there's a part of me that feels like if I don't have it, y'all can show wait. And then there's a part of me that just feels like, please be patient. And so we're working it out so that we can get the book at Marcus sooner rather than later, and I'll ask you to order it there. Yeah? That's all right? All right. Thank you very, very much. So I'm still excited because it is out, and I'm excited that my girl is here as well. So there are a few things that I want to share with you about Reverend Marquita Pierre McAlister. She is a graduate of Holmes Institute and is widely respected amongst her peers for real. I feel like as I go through it, I can just do the authentication, do a little check off on some of the pieces. She is absolutely respected amongst her peers for her intellect, her passion, her spiritual insights, and also her fun. There's something about Marquita that is about getting the thing done, but in the process of it, we're going to have a good time in so doing. And I appreciate that about her. She was elected and currently serves in her second term in co-leadership of the Ministers' Council for Centers for Spiritual Living. She's also a past co-chair of the National Convention for Centers for Spiritual Living and a workshop presenter to local, national, and international audiences. She served for over 6 years as the senior minister for the Alaska Center for Spiritual Living. In the summer of 2012, she left Anchorage and moved to Las Vegas, Nevada. Reverend Marquita founded and serves as the spiritual director for Centers for Spiritual Living, Southern Nevada, New Life Vision. She is a motivational speaker, a workshop and retreat facilitator, a spiritual practitioner, a spiritual growth consultant, a hospice chaplain, and an inspirational singer. And I am so grateful that she's also my prayer partner. So that means a steady dose of praying together and having a minister cohort. Just a sisterhood in that way, which I have missed for years. So I'm so grateful to you, Marquita, for joining me. Early mornings, we do like a little 6 a.m. No, we don't. We do a 5 a.m. thing. But I need to tell you, it's absolutely worth it to start my morning in prayer and spiritual consult with my dear sister. Marquita says, it was through the many deep challenges and life experiences of my journey that I discovered my soul's longing to express what I now offer to the world: love, compassion, passion, and a commitment to living my life out loud. You do that. Yeah, you do. In order to remind people they too can live a life that fulfills Spirit's promise of joy, peace, and unlimited good. So today we get a double dose of Reverend Marquita because she is our musical inspiration. So she'll be singing this morning and she'll also be speaking. And so it is my absolute Yeah. It's my absolute honor and a privilege and a pleasure to introduce to you, to call forward in this moment, the beloved Reverend Marquita Pierre McAlister, my beloved.
Oops. Well, good morning, heart and soul. Good morning, love streamers. So we're going to start with a song. And I'm just grateful to be here. You know, thank you to Reverend Dr. Andriette and the board and all of you and all of you and all of you, everybody who makes this happen, yeah? So this is a song that's close to my heart. We're gonna begin. And so y'all get ready, because, well, anyway, I ain't going to say nothing. Go ahead. It's for later. Okay. This is by Ricky Byers, A Radiant Faith. A radiant faith is my friend today, and I see my life in a different way. I'm not excited, no, but I'm not crawling in despair, for I'm better than I have been. At the center of my sober mind, I am sure, I am calm, all is well, for I know that every valley shall be exalted, every mountain laid low. I'm living in the desert, and the roses blooming on the highway, for my God, blooming on the highway, for my God. The years on the road are so narrow and long, taught me to listen to life's sacred song. Can't you hear it? And even if you fall, a radiant faith keeps you strong and gives you the courage to stand, oh, and go on. Feel this song and move on, but be sure that every valley shall be exalted, every mountain laid low. I'm living in the desert, and the roses blooming on the highway, for my God, blooming on the highway, for my God. Oh, radiant faith is my friend, and I know that the way has been prepared for me on the highway. Well, no dead end streets, y'all, on the highway. Well, no fence too high on the highway. Well, no scattered dreams on the highway. Yeah, you hear a choir of angels on the highway. Well, and every day's a blessing on the highway. Yeah, you're walking in forever on the highway. Let me tell you, there's no hitchhiking on the highway. No, there's no hitchhiking on the highway. Listen, y'all, you gotta do the work, yeah, on the highway. Well, we all gotta do the work on the highway, yeah, on the highway. Well, there's no hitchhiking on the highway, 'cause you're walking in forever on the highway. Yeah, there's hitchhiking on the highway. Well, for my God, on the highway, for my God, every the roses blooming on the highway for my God, moving on the highway for my God. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Oh, blooming on the highway. A radiant faith is my friend today. Is a radiant faith your friend today? Let it be a radiant faith as our friend today. For my God.
Thank you, Reverend Marquita. Thank you, Mark Ricky, and your band and background vocals. Just all the things. So very, 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 very grateful. Y'all know that we have as our theme, adventure in faith. And so this Ricky Byers song supports us so beautifully with injecting this notion of radiant faith. Part of the lyric says, even if you fall. Has anyone fallen? Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is for us. Okay, good. So even if you fall, Ricky Byers writes, a radiant faith keeps you strong and gives you the strength to stand and go on. And then she invites you to feel the song and move on. So on this day, I'm just going to ask you to pause with me for a moment. We're going to hear from Reverend Marquita for the words, the message that she has for us this morning. But for right now, sense more deeply the adventure of faith that you're on. That even though you have fallen, that radiant faith on this adventure in faith keeps you strong. So let's just be in that resonance. And then the next voice that you hear will be Reverend Marquita Pierre McAlister.
So, good morning again. Good morning. We'll just pretend that I'm somebody. I just kind of switched. And again, good morning, love streamers and everybody. So, again, thank you and all of that. So today, we're talking about a subset of faith. What in the world does she mean by that? Well, we'll find out. We'll find out. Something I'm going to say today may touch you. Many of it, most of it, maybe you'll go, yeah, I know that. You know what? I'm not interested in whether you know that. I'm interested in whether you feel that and whether you're practicing that. Yes? Oh, I like y'all. Y'all talk back. Say it again. Yes? Yeah, I like that. So, Ernest Holmes has a thought about this. He says, faith is a mental attitude which is so convinced of its own idea, which so completely accepts it, that any contradiction is unthinkable and impossible. But I want to take this one step further, because you notice he says a mental attitude, yes? I want to take it a step further, because here's the acronym that I use for faith. Full acceptance in the heart. So you've got your mental construct, and that's good. We have to have that, right? But again, just like anything else, you got to move it to the heart so that then you can say, and then you can be in alignment with the all good that is already happening and is already yours. Yes? Okay. So we established that is faith, fully accepted in the heart. So you want to be so convinced. Here's the deal. You get so convinced in what you know, what you feel, and just all about you till you are so high. So it doesn't matter what anybody else does to you or any other circumstance that's going out there. Nancy, okay, come on, Red Marquita, get real. No, I'm serious. Because life will happen. If you are into your spiritual practices of prayer, meditation, affirmation, and visioning and all of that, life can absolutely happen, and you stand back and go, Some of you were here last time when I spoke, and I talked about the story about my luxury vehicle being stolen. And the first words out of my mouth when I looked and saw it wasn't there was, wow, what is God doing? What's happening? So the events happen, but you are so in a space of knowing that your life is led by the divine, that there is nothing that can come against you. What is that? There are things for you to learn, to understand, but nothing's really against you, including all the things that people do and say to hurt your feelings and all that other kind of stuff. Say yes. Yes. Right. So we want to be so high till there's an observation of the thing going on out here, but we're not sucked into it. Yeah? Right? Okay. So, now the radiant faith is that high that I'm talking about, that you're moving along in life, that there's a light that is emanating from you. There's a joy and a peace that's emanating from you. Yeah? So we have this radiant faith, but when it comes to faith, there's these like what I call subsets to faith. And they're based on core spiritual principles. Today I'm only talking about one, but honey, it's a big one, okay? What is it? It is called forgiveness. Yeah, we got to talk about it. Yeah. Because, you know, most of us go, oh, come on, man, I'm doing this work. Why we got to talk about this? Because there's so many other pieces to forgiveness. And we're going to get to that too. All right, so we are dealing with the fact of forgiveness as a subset of faith. Because it means that you are so trusting in the divine, trusting that the divine has justice. You don't have to go out doling it yourself on someone. That you are so trusting in the divine till you know for a fact that which needs to be taken care of is about to be taken care of. We don't need resentment, hatred, anger. We don't actually need those things. If it does, trust me, it's in alignment still with the divine. And it's usually so you take action on something, but not out of the emotional piece. No, it's about the strength of the divine. And then you take action. Yeah? All right. We're going to get there. Here we go. Okay, so we're letting go of the thought that I have to be in anger. I have to be in resentment in order to make something equal and balanced in the universe. Can we let that go? Yes. Good. Glad to hear it. So here is a passage from the Hindu Mahabharata, right? It says, forgiveness is holiness. By forgiveness, the universe is held together. Forgiveness is the might of the mighty. Forgiveness is quiet of mind. Forgiveness and gentleness are the qualities of the self-possessed, God-possessed, you, inside you. Yes? So that's a kind of a tall order, or maybe for some of you it is not. But then when life happens, maybe then it becomes a little bit tougher. Let's get real, yeah? Keeping it real. All right, so let's get into the nuts and the bolts. So we understand how high and mighty and strong and yet gentle and kind we need to be. But how do we do that when stuff happens? The impact. So many years ago, when I was, I guess it's been decades, but the point is, when I was learning to meditate, the teacher said, overlook right on the spot and make allowances right on the spot. And so I hadn't even connected it to forgiveness, right? And I thought, all right, I'm going to work that out. Y'all know it's a little bit tougher to practice, huh? It is. But the point he was saying is, you want to forgive right on the spot because you don't know who has forgiven you without your even knowing. Now, this happens to us. Okay, God. This happens to us often. When you are driving, assuming you do drive, you don't know who you done cut off. You don't know what you done done on that road. You think you do. But we make mistakes often, and we don't know it. And someone has immediately, oh, well, to us. Oh, she must be in a hurry. Oh, she must be going somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, right? So who are we then to hold something against someone, especially when, they overlook you, they just kind of go and move, or they cut you off. You are so trying to get an idea across, and they interrupt with their thoughts, and they cut you off. But who are you to hold that against them? Are you aware that maybe, possibly, you've done that too? I know I have. Come on, y'all. Has anybody ever cut somebody else off when they're trying to get a point across? Yeah, I thought so. Right? This is just one of the reasons forgiveness is so important. We don't know. We have such an impact on life. Our tentacles are spreading out in every action that we do. We are energy in motion, yeah? And so we don't know the impact. A lot of it is good. We're always hoping and praying that we're doing the very best by everyone, yes? And we make mistakes. So please, I'm asking in this moment, make sure you're doing the forgiveness work because you'd have made mistakes too. All right. So in this idea of overlooking right on the spot, go for it. There's the idea, and forgive me because I can't remember who said it first, but the idea is to be the first to forgive. You and so-and-so get in it. You and the coworker get in it. You and the spouse, you and the honey, whatever, get in it. Be first to forgive immediately. Why? Who is teaching who when you get into a tough spot? Won't you be the teacher to someone else to show them what love and forgiveness actually looks like? Your children, your friends, your mentors, everybody's looking at you to teach. We are not here just to be followers. We are here to be leaders. Leaders in love, leaders in compassion, leaders in forgiveness. Yes? Mm-hmm. So I have to tell you, we know these forgiveness sermons. I mean, we've heard these before, and I was just like you, sitting out in the audience, hearing somebody talk about forgiveness. However, I had a situation that really made me look at myself. Maybe you've heard of her. Her name is Immaculée Ilibagiza. She is out of Rwanda, and she experienced and survived to tell about the Rwanda Holocaust. Her book is Left to Tell. So I'm serving on the conference for National CSL, and that's going to be our speaker. And there's the book, and so I kind of read the book. Well, honey, let me tell you, by the time I'm on the plane going to go meet her at wherever we were at that time, I'm reading that book a second time. So I don't know if you know the story, so I'm going to tell it very briefly. There is the Hutus and the Tutsis in Rwanda, right? The Hutu president gets killed. And now people done lost their mind. They're after the other tribe. And it's not just after, it is about genocide, wiping out this entire tribe. Immaculee's father sends her to a pastor's house of the opposite tribe because he knows the man has a good heart, so he's not going to kill her. Sends her to this house. He hides her with 7 other women in the bathroom, a 3-by-4 bathroom, 3-by-4 foot. Y'all get it? 3-by-4, not with 7 other women for 91 days. There were times when those who were hunting came in literally in that house, but he had something that blocked the bathroom door, kind of a thing, and the men were about to go do something because they're searching the house, right? And in the very moment, something came over them, or whatever you want to call that, and said, you know what, you're a good, honorable man. We're done, we're good, and they left. Close calls. Now, can you imagine being cooped up for 91 days in a small... No, none of us can, right? So you can imagine what the mind does. the mind goes to, they're killing everybody. They're so hateful. And the mind begins to do the anger and resentment within her own heart. But she does know God. In time, she turns to God. Because she turned to God, she shifts in this process. But she comes out after 91 days to find that every single member of her family has been murdered. Her friends have been murdered. Her neighbors have been murdered. Her other relatives have been murdered, which is why the book is called Left to Tell, right? Some way, somehow, through prayer, through those spiritual practices, her heart opens up and begins the forgiveness process. She literally forgave all the people who were there killing and has killed everyone that she knows. Not only that, but later on, if I'm telling the story correctly, it's been many years since I read the book, but the very man who had killed her parents was standing in front of her, and she forgave him. There was nothing even to forgive. She forgave him on the spot because she was there. So I ask you, have you gone through the Holocaust yet? Have you gone through being in a small container for 91 days? So who are we to hold something against someone else if someone like this can do something like that? So I ask you, if you got anything against anybody else, check it out, yeah? And I do suggest you get the book, too, because it's a great story. And I was blessed to sit with her at dinner where she didn't reiterate the story, but she was just telling me what was going on deep within inside her. And I left that table, that dinner table that night going, work it out, Marquita. Work it out, yeah? Here's a misnomer. I call it a misnomer. We have a tendency. Now, those in this teaching, maybe you don't have that. If you're new to this teaching, maybe there's still some lingering stuff there. But we have a tendency to believe that God forgives. I'm here to tell you God does not forgive. God doesn't know anything about forgiveness, okay? Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Forgiveness is simply a human construct to help us come back into alignment with who we really, really are. Okay? So don't be beseeching and asking God for no forgiveness. God can't even see you that way. What is that? We have a tendency to put God as a human thing, this anthropomorphic God that's up somewhere looking down on us and going to dole out the goodness and the forgiveness. No. Okay? No. Understand what your true nature is. You come from the source of the divine. You are that. We use forgiveness to remind us to come back in alignment with that. Okay? We're good so far? Okay. All right. So where was I supposed to be? So let me say a couple of things. If there is something that has happened to you or someone that you care about, and you're having a hard time forgiving that person, let's be clear. You are choosing the suffering. Pain happens. Suffering, choice. Why? Suffering is here and here. Your unforgiveness is here and here. Remember, that person is taking up what I call rent up in your mind for free. You are giving them your power for free. Stop that. Stop it. Number one, there is no power but the one power. Yes? It is the whole presence of the divine. Yes? It spits you out of itself. Yes? Then you are that. Yes? Everything else, let it go. Let it go. Let it go. All right. And so with that, let me just say, Jan Van Zandt has a quote that I absolutely love. She says this: a lack of forgiveness broadcasts a signal that there is something someone has done to cause a sense of lack in you. For example, let's say you have not received an apology you believe is owed to you. Your emotional body embodies this energy of lack. Because everything is energy, the energetic thought form of lack outpictures in your experience in some shape, form, some way. Such as financial debt, lack of relationships, whatever. So now I kind of knew this, but I think I forgot from time to time. Some years ago, I go to France, and it was on a spiritual quest, a spiritual journey, and I had carried with me, there was someone that I believed owed me an apology, yeah? And so I'm in Chartres, and we're doing the spiritual work and stuff, and I kind of forgot about that person. But then we get to where the deeper spiritual work was supposed to be done, which is in a cathedral there, and underneath is a crypt, right? So there's the crypts, and in that it's kind of like a setting like this. The facilitator has us take out a piece of paper, write down what we need to let go of. I'm thinking, I don't really have a whole lot to let go of. Whatever. I don't even remember what I wrote on the piece of paper. But the next thing is we take our piece of paper, we line up, and there's this huge barrel of fire, right? And you're supposed to drop the thing in the barrel, and then you move on towards where the sanctuary is, which has a labyrinth. There's elaborate labyrinth underneath what normally is the chairs, but they had moved all the way. So I go up, to put my paper in the fire, and my whole being starts to cry. And I don't know why. I am blubbering. I can hardly stand. I'm crying so hard. So now I know I'm having a spiritual experience. I'm not clear what it's about. I finally am able to drop the paper in, and I can barely move to the steps. And I move to the steps. I go into the sanctuary. I'm going into the labyrinth. I'm moving, and it comes. You think somebody owes you an apology. What have you created? A sense of, I'm not the fulfillment. I am God Almighty. I'm the one. I'm the fulfillment. No one owes you anything. Get clear, Marquita. I get into the middle of the labyrinth, and it all releases, and I'm ready to go. Okay? Your spiritual practices will keep you in alignment. But when it comes to forgiveness, please overlook right on the spot, immediately let it go. Now, with saying that, I want to be clear. You are not supposed to be a doormat for people to walk all over you, okay? The other thing that the teacher said besides overlook, he said, overlook right on the spot with patience, kindness, and firmness, which means you are to stand up for yourself. You don't let people walk all over you, but you don't come from a place of anger, hatred, that kind of stuff. Not from the lower vibration. No, you're coming from the higher vibration. I am strong. What does the song say? I am sure, I am calm, all is well within my soul, right? So, we don't let people abuse us, but we don't go against people. We stand in our strength. Yes? Yes. Now, one last thing on this. Well, actually, no, here's what I want us to do. So, would you please repeat? I'm going to do part by part, and then we're going to do it again, and I want you to take it into your space, yourself. My faith that good is happening. Out there, y'all do it too, right? My faith that good is happening in me and through me is so high. That I see no need to hold on to anything that is against anyone. That I see no need to hold on to anything that is against anyone. We're going to do it one more time, and then I'm going to continue. Say after me, my faith that good is happening in me and through me is so high that I see no need to hold on to anything that is against anyone, including me. So the next piece is self-forgiveness. Critical. We have a tendency to believe that we can truly forgive others when we haven't forgiven ourselves. You're playing with it. Because it's really not true. We want to because we've been taught to forgive others. And we do. But the real truth is it's still on the surface. Because until you forgive yourself, until you have released whatever you think you did wrong or however, whatever was going on for you, unless you love this person right, yeah? You ain't done nothing, child. You're playing, okay? We don't want to play with the spiritual principles. We want to be the spiritual principles, yes? Yes. So here's the thing about that. When we hold on to any guilt and fear and stuff within our own selves, it has to come out some way, shape, or form, right? Because what we have done is created then blockages. Blockages, and it shows up in our physical being a lot of times. Blockages in the heart attacks, that kind of stuff. It shows up. It's got to show up. Everything that you're holding is going to show up one way or another in your experience. So we want to get real clean, and the way to get real clean is we have to do the self-forgiveness work. Because if you don't, I can guarantee it's going to sneak up on you, as it did me. So I call it the lingering pain. I call it the lingering pain. So I have another Ernest Holmes slide that I want you to just embrace in this moment. He says, forgiveness is the way to turn loose that which binds us. Forgiveness is the answer to the child within us who still cries because of some ancient hurt. The little person inside of you also needs your forgiveness. Because if you don't, as I call it the lingering pain, something can happen, as it did to me. So I am in Alaska, senior minister of the church, and I have one of my practitioners with me, and we went out to dinner to this fancy restaurant, right? You know, you dress up, all that good stuff, and we go out, and it's just lovely. We're having dinner. At the time, I was dating an individual who was really causing me more grief than needed to be, but my wanting to hold on for whatever, I didn't understand why I would break up with the person and end up going back with the person. And then I'd break up with them again. Because something in me knew this ain't it. But something in me still needed to happen, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. Well, on this wonderful night, I'm telling this practitioner, because she was a good friend of mine, right now, this is what's happening. I'm so tired of this, whatever I was complaining about. But I heard myself say the word betrayal. That one word, now she's sitting across from me, that one word, betrayal, all of a sudden I got quiet. It sent me all the way back to when I was 13 years old. Something that had transpired between my mother and I, still there. And I started boo-hooing loudly in this fine restaurant. The practitioner was a great practitioner, so she knew, she was looking at me, she knew, something is really going on there, so she stayed silent. And I continued to cry. I mean, people are looking, I don't really, what do you care, right? Crying, and it finally started to settle, and she said, would you like to leave? And I said, yes. And so we get up, and we're going to the car, and she looks at me, she goes, are you okay to drive? She goes, you're having a big moment. I'll call you tomorrow. I get in my car, I go home, and I know what happened was I had not forgiven my mother for that event, but the bigger piece was I hadn't forgiven me for not forgiving her. So I did an entire ritual process, prayer, blah, blah, blah. The next morning I wake up, I can still feel I'm not 100% in my body. I go to the church, and I'm doing what I do, and a call comes that I need to go assist someone else. So I do this centering of, it is all right now. I can let go. It's okay. The forgiving of self, if you think you are doing your spiritual practices and you're forgiving everyone else, and there's a piece of you that has not forgiven yourself, I guarantee, as long as you continue on your spiritual path, it comes up so you can cleanse. We are here to be clean spiritual beings of the divine, not holding on to anything. Yes? Okay, all right. We are about complete here. So that you kind of will have something to hang on to. And yes, you can take your phones out now if you need to. Those of you online, do what you need to do. But I don't know, however many years ago, studying Edwene Gaines, she gives us a recipe to work with this, right? So we're going to put that up right now. Nightly, she says to do this. To ask yourself nightly before you go to bed, have I put anyone outside of my heart today? It can be as simple as the cashier who was in a hurry and she didn't quite greet you the way you wanted to be greeted, right? It could be as simple as the Uber driver who wouldn't pick up your bag and put it in the trunk or whatever, and you had to do whatever, right? Or it can be the deep part where some love relationship really hurts you. Does not matter. The question is, every day, ask the question, is there anyone? And sit. And be open even to the next morning that it might come up then. Once you do that, then you want to affirm the following, as many as you can remember, right? So we affirm, I forgive myself. You know what? It's up on the thing, right? Oh, not yet. Okay, we're coming. We're getting to the next one. I would like for us to read this out loud. Here we go. Let's read these out loud, all right? Here we go. I forgive myself completely for every mistake I have ever made. I let go of blame, shame, judgment, and hurt. I am free from condemnation. I forgive everyone who did not give me the love and attention I desired. I forgive myself for my unconscious behaviors of the past, and I forgive others theirs as well. I allow myself to feel forgiven and to move forward in life. Yes, indeed. One of the things that she says is people have a tendency not to behave the way we want them to behave. And that causes this angst within us. All right? All right. I'm going to do one last thing. We're going to say one more. We have one more slide. We're going to say this affirmation together. And this one you can just put in your bathroom, in your car, wherever you need to put it to remember who you are. Let's say this one together. I am a radiant being of light. I forgive others. I forgive myself. And I am free. And so it is. Yeah. And so it is. So wonderful. So with that, the next song I'm going to sing, and then I'm going to invite you to sing. And who was it? Somebody just said, if you can speak, you can sing. So understand that, right? Because here's the thing. You can hear a sermon, and you'll remember, what is it? 20% of it, 10%, 20% next morning. And then it keeps going, dwindling and dwindling. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in you taking this, doing something with it. So music is the great translator. You know, it'll start to move in your body. So we're going to stand. Not yet. I'll let you know. Stand, and then you'll sing, because you're going to say it over and over, so you'll know the words, and we'll do it together. You okay with that? Yes. Y'all okay with that online? All right. Okay. Let us get started. Thank you, my love. I'm tired of the guilt that brings me pain. Now I choose to let go of the shame, the past behind me. I see anew. I'm ready for my change. I'm ready for my change. I forgive me. I forgive me. Everything that I've been holding on to, I let go. I surrender. I surrender. I'm ready for my change. I'm ready for my change. Well, I forgive them. Yes, yes, I forgive them. Everything that I've been holding on to, I let go. I surrender. I surrender. I'm ready for my change. I'm ready for my change. I forgive me. I forgive me. Everything that I've been holding on to, I let go. Oh, I let go. Oh, I let go. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I'm ready for my change. I am right now. Oh, I'm ready for my change. Y'all ready for a change? All right, here, so y'all got to work with me, all right? So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to ask you to stand, because we want to get this deep all the way down from the top of our head to the bottom of our feet, right? And so we're going to split it up, and the words are, what are the words, y'all? I forgive me. So right side, I forgive me, and then the left side, you're going to repeat after them, I forgive me, and then we're going to do the rest of it together. What is it? Everything that I've been holding on to, I let go. All right? And then we're going to do I surrender. Now, for those of you who might have an issue with the word surrender, I got this from Reverend Dr. Lloyd Barrett. He said surrender is really trading up, trading for the lesser vibration to the higher vibration, trading up perspiration for inspiration, trading up lack for abundance and prosperity. Yeah, trading up all that yucky stuff for all the good stuff. Now, he didn't say all that, but you know what I'm saying, right? So I want you to let go of what the old concept of surrender and recognize what you're surrendering to. You ready? We're going to start with I forgive me on the right side. I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do that. You good? Okay. Thank you, Mark. Here we go. Feel it when you're singing. I forgive me. I forgive over here. I forgive me. Everything that I've been holding on to. Everything that I've been holding on to. I let go. I surrender. Come on online. Sing, baby. Yeah. I'm ready. I'm ready for much. Feel that, y'all. I know you got to be ready. Come on, y'all. I'm ready for my change. going to do it again. I want you to belt it up. I forgive me. Yes, come on online. I forgive. Feel that, feel that. Everything that I've been holding. Oh, come on. I surrender. Yes, yes, online too. I surrender. I'm ready. I'm ready for my change. Yeah. I'm ready for my change. I forgive me. I forgive me. Everything that I've been holding on to, I let go. I surrender. I surrender. I'm ready for my change. I'm ready for my change. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Praise God. How? Yes, yes.